A tree is known by its fruit. Our Lord Jesus said that. Paul said, some men's sins come before them. You can see the evil that they're trying to do. And he said, some men's sins follow after. It takes a while. I have come to the regrettable conclusion that the things that Barack Obama, our president, is doing to undermine and unravel this country, that it's deliberate. And I don't say that lightly. There were a lot of people that I listened to over the past few years who said Obama hates America, Obama wants to destroy the fiber of our nation, Obama is a Muslim, Obama is at war with Christianity. And when you take all of these accusations one at a time, you know, they jar the soul and you're like, all right, hold on, calm down. But a lot of the accusations that have been made against this man are glaringly obvious now. A tree is known by its fruit. Look at the fruit of what Obama has done and is doing. He has failed to make any significant dent on Islamic terrorism around the world. His health care plan has turned out to cause a crisis in healthcare in America. There are millions of people right now uninsured because of Obamacare. All right? So what was supposed to help ended up hurting what many would argue is the best healthcare system in the world. He has promoted the slaughter of innocent unborn babies. And the child killers are having a field day, a heyday. He's trying to force Christian organizations to pay for drugs that kill babies. He has been the best friend to the militant homosexuals who are in an open war against marriage. He has signaled the Mexicans that we're not going to send any children back. And so now we have God knows how many thousands and thousands of children trying to pour in over our borders on the border between Texas and Mexico or New Mexico or Arizona, trying to pour in because Obama has sent the message that we're not going to deport them. If you go down through the list of crises that we're facing, Iran, he has not stopped them. He keeps saying we're going to be tough for them, but he's done nothing. Our national debt, the U.S. government took in more money last year in the fiscal year than it ever has in the history of the Republic, but it was still nearly $500 billion short, okay? And in his entire presidency, he has yet to pass a budget. Do you understand what a joke this is now, that there has not been a budget? So when you look at all of these crises individually and then pile them up and look at this mountain of ethical and economic and international relations chaos, you have to say, this is not an accident. This is not an accident. So to come back to what we talked about in the last segment, what's going on with Iraq and the terrorists in Iran, what's the end of the game here? If the U.S. accepts the help of Iran, or basically must have signaled them, hey, if you want to send in troops, which is an act of invasion, if you want to send in troops, we're not going to stop you. How then are we going to turn to Iran and say, we require you, we force you, we demand that you undo your nuclear program? How are we going to do that? We're not. And if we continue to give weapons or moral support or any logistical support to the Islamic terrorists who are trying to topple Syria, how are we going to then say to them, well, you can't use those weapons to invade Iraq? We can't. If we're going to secretly help and acknowledge the Muslim Brotherhood, how are we going to then say to them, hey, stop spreading terrorist ideology, stop supporting logistical or small arms support to your various terrorist outlets around the Middle East? How are we going to do that? We're not. We can't. So just on this one international foreign policy subject, okay, the perhaps imminent collapse of the government in Iraq or us siding with a terrorist state known as Iran, This is clearly a decision by Obama and the State Department that ultimately does not have American interests in mind. It doesn't. I'm not sure what it has in Obama's mind, but what I think it has to do with is that he really wants America to be beaten down, whittled down, so that we're just one of many nations. It's a multipolar world where there's a lot of world powers, and we're just one of them. We don't dictate our principles, because our ideals, our founding ideals of Christianity and liberty and self-reliance and helping your neighbor, those things are anathema to Obama. He doesn't want that. He believes in socialism. He believes in Marxism. He believes in, I don't want to say one world government, because I don't believe that that's true, but he believes in ethical multiculturalism on a international government side. Okay, there's no government system that's any better than the others, except maybe socialism and Marxism. All right, this man is an enemy of our country, and he's the leader of our country. We are in a pickle, people. I'll be right back.